Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, or Mark Zuckerberg. Whenever the super rich of this world are mentioned, their names are mentioned. But in this video, we want to introduce you to 5 people whose unimaginable wealth is not so well known to the public. You can expect a man who pays $100 million for a single wedding expense, a head of state who is said to own more than 700 cars, and a luxury entrepreneur with an incredible 17 palaces. That's why we start right away, here at Brain Bites. Oh, and take the opportunity to write us in the comments what you would buy first if you were a billionaire. Let's start with number 5, and a man who everyone knows, but whose fortune is very secret. It is about Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. Officially, he only gets about his work 280,000 euros a year, which compared to, for example, Angela Merkel, who has over 420,000 euros a year, is not exactly much. But in reality, this income is only a small pocket money. Over the years, Putin has built excellent relationships with Russia's most powerful and wealthiest entrepreneurs, and is said to be involved in a large number of successful companies. For example, he owns shares in giant oil companies, and is also said to be involved in numerous other businesses. In the energy company Zorgfnitgas alone, which is worth $20 billion, Putin is said to own 37% of the shares. That would make Putin a billionaire. However, the ruler of Russia himself says that he lives in a 77 square meter city apartment and owns only an older Russian small car. However, Russia expert Karen Davidisha and many others estimate that Putin's statement is not only a lie, but that he actually owns and lives at least $40 billion in assets. Some insiders even declared that Putin owns about 200 billion, which would make him the richest person in the world. In fact, Vladimir Putin is said to have demonstrably spent his money on a variety of luxury objects. For example, he is said to have a watch collection worth $700,000, a huge art collection, and a total of about 20 palaces and real estate. He is also said to own more than 700 cars, 4 yachts, and over 40 aircraft. According to Russia expert Bill Broder, Putin's assets are also in hedge funds or in Swiss bank accounts. According to Broder and Wikipedia, Putin also owns this exorbitant summer residence on the Russian-Finnish border, which cost $1 billion to build. The palatial building is strictly shielded from the public and has, among other things, a pool with gilded tiles, and a helipad. The entire 48-hectare site also provides the necessary privacy. At number 4, we now come to a person who could be described not only as the richest person in the world, but directly as the richest person in history. It is about Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Although there is much speculation about his exact fortune, one thing is certain: together with his family, he owns the company Saudi Aramco. The oil company is considered the most valuable company in the world, with a market value of 1.9 trillion euros. Since his father, King Salman, is too old to continue the business, bin Salman is already in control of the incredible financial empire and regularly indulges in the most spectacular possessions through his incredible fortune. For example, he bought an 18th century French castle for $300 million. It was completely modernized with a large spa area, gilded doors, a gigantic aquarium with real sharks, and fountains that can be controlled via smartphone. He also owns the Serene, a $500 million super yacht considered one of the most luxurious yachts in the world. But one item on this yacht is almost as expensive as the entire yacht itself, namely the world-famous painting Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. The painting is the most expensive work of art ever sold, and bin Salman caused a sensation with the auction of the work. Above all, the fact that he only hung such an important work of art on his private yacht led to much criticism in the art world. In the meantime, bin Salman has also declared that he wants to exhibit the painting at the Louvre in Dubai. We continue with the number 3, and a person whose products everyone knows. We are talking about the Frenchman Bernard Arnault. Although this name is unlikely to mean anything to very few, Arnault is actually one of the richest people in the world. More precisely, after Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, he is even the third richest person on Earth and the richest person in Europe. The Frenchman, born in 1949, is said to have a total of an incredible $76 billion. The businessman is the majority owner of the fashion and perfume brand Dior, which is worth about $30 billion. He also owns large shares in the luxury goods group Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which owns a total of over 70 brands. In addition to Louis Vuitton and the champagne brand Moet, the group also includes Celine, the watch brand Hublot, Fendi, Marc Jacobs, and the jeweler Tiffany. By the way, Bernard Arnault began to accumulate his wealth with something completely different, because his father was already a real estate entrepreneur. He first built holiday apartments in France and the USA, and then began to invest more and more money in luxury companies in the 80s. Arnault prefers to spend his money on art and owns a large collection of contemporary works. He also owns a huge winery, luxurious real estate, and also a gigantic yacht and a private plane. Now we come to number 2, and a person who presents himself in public as a communist, but in reality lives an incredibly luxurious lifestyle, while a large part of his people suffer. We are talking about Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un has been the sole ruler of the country since his father's death and rules it in an authoritarian manner. At this point, however, it is not about his extremely controversial policy, but about the wealth of Kim Jong-un, which, by the way, is much greater than one would expect from such a poor country. North Korea's leader owns 17 palaces, a private jet, and a 30-meter-long luxury yacht. And although he outwardly rejects the European lifestyle, Kim Jong-un also owns over 100 fine cars, most of which he has imported from Europe. In general, he likes to import luxury items such as pianos or fine spirits from abroad. As if all this were not enough, he also owns a huge hotel with restaurants, nightclubs, and casinos, the construction of which is said to have cost over 600 million euros. And in addition to all these luxury goods, Kim Jong-un also owns a private island. After visiting former basketball star Dennis Rodman, whom Kim Jong-un reveres as a fan, said in an interview that the island is like Hawaii or Ibiza, with the only difference that only Kim Jong-un lives here. Of course, it is clear that this lifestyle consumes a lot of money. Allegedly, Kim Jong-un actually spends $500 million privately in a single year. In total, his fortune is estimated at over $4 billion. Although there are no official figures here either. Since all of North Korea is shielded from the outside world, there are almost no pictures in which Kim Jong-un flaunts his wealth, except for satellite images. On the number 1 is now again a man, whose name will probably say anything to the least. It's about Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani is an entrepreneur from Mumbai, India, and CEO of the country's largest company. This company is called Reliance Industries, is mainly active in the fields of oil extraction and textiles, and was founded by his father. Of course, you can already guess that a lot of money is earned in these areas. But how much private wealth Mukesh Ambani has brought in so far is still unbelievable. The entrepreneur is said to own $55 billion and made it to rank 13 of the richest people in the world. However, the 63-year-old not only knows how to earn a lot of money, but also how to spend it. When his daughter married 2 years ago, he financed a wedding for the bride and groom, which was unique even by the standards of rich Indians. The celebration lasted for a whole week, and he had 5,000 guests fly in with private jets. Traveling with more than 1,000 luxury limousines were brought to the finest 5-star hotels in the city. Among the guests were celebrities such as Hillary Clinton, and so that everyone could keep track of all events during the wedding ceremony, even a separate app was programmed. By the way, one of the entertainment highlights of the wedding was even a performance by the singer Beyoncé. All this cost the billionaire an incredible $100 million, making the celebration the most expensive wedding in human history. Mukesh Ambani also attaches great importance to living well, and that, of course, is an understatement. Since 2010, he has been living in the most expensive and largest private residence in the world. His luxury property is called Antilia and has 27 floors that extend over 173 meters high. It cost $1 billion to build, and even though it looks like a house with a lot of different apartments, the entire building is just for Ambani himself, in addition to 37,000 square meters of living space, which the entrepreneur uses with his wife and children. There will be a cinema, several swimming pools, a jacuzzi, a solarium, a yoga studio, a dance room, hanging gardens, and 3 helipads. If Ambani gets too warm, he can cool off in a special ice room where extra snow falls from the ceiling. That's it with our video. Write us, as I said, times in the comments, what you would do with so much money. Otherwise, like the video if you liked it, and we'll see you next time here at Brain Bites.